Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about modal verbs. Modal verbs or modals or auxiliary. Here we have on the board our modals, okay? Modal verbs are known as a modals type of helping verb. Okay, why do we call them modals? Just one reason. They are unique, is that they don't change their form. We use them in the present or in the base case of the verb. We don't add even ed or ing, okay, in any tense. So we don't have present perfect, past perfect from these verbs. Our auxiliary verbs are can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, ought to, and must. When we want to put these verbs in negative form, what should we do? We put not for the negative form. We add not to the modal verb into its negative form. So, which is like, for example, cannot, can't, will not, won't, must not, mustn't. The verb after modals comes in its infinitive or base form. For example, I can study, he will read. What about question? Each and every verb we use it in the question form. So what about question in auxiliary or modals? When we want to use WH question, we put auxiliary after the WH word, which is like, for example, where can you go? So we use can after WH word. What about yes or no questions? Here in yes or no question, when I form a question with yes or no, what about auxiliary here or modals? We put the modal verb at the beginning of the question, which is like, for example, can you send me this file? Can you help me please? And so on. Okay. Now we have approached the most crucial part in this lesson, the usage of modals. How can we use modals, or where do we use modals? We have a lot of context. In order to understand how to use each one, we need to define the context we're talking about. Here we have 9 contexts, which is like, number 1, possibility, 2, ability, permission, number 3, advice, the 4th one, obligation, the 5th, suggestion, the 6th, deduction, the 7th, request, the 8th, and offer, the 9th. So here we have 9 contexts we use modals in them. First of all, number 1, possibility. What is the definition of possibility? Possibility means expressing that something is likely or able to happen. The modals here in this context we can use can, could, may, might. For example, we can meet at 5. So I have the possibility to make this action. Okay? You can't meet him right now. You don't have the ability to meet him. If you played well, we could win the match. Okay, here we have another 2 examples about may and might. We may play football today. We might play football today. What is the difference between them? What is the difference between may and might here? We have the same sentence, except may and might. What is the difference? May is often stronger than might. So the ability to do this action is stronger than when we use might. Number 2, ability. What about ability? What's the meaning of ability? Ability is the power to do something. In this context, we use can, could. For example, I can run fast. He can't ride a bike. I could swim when I was young. So here we have the ability to do these actions. Number 3, permission. What about permission? What's the meaning or the definition of permission? Permission is the approval to do something. The modals here, we can use can, could, may. What's the difference between them? Can for informal permission. Could for formal and informal. We can use it in both cases. May, more formal, but we can use it with our parents or family or relatives for politeness. For example, you can use my pen. Can I use your pen? Could I use your pen, please? May I use your pen, please? So here we are more polite. Number 4, advice. What about advice? What is the definition of advice? An opinion or guidance offered to someone about what they should do. I told someone what he or she should do. So I offered them an opinion, my opinion. So modals here will be should, shouldn't, ought to. For example, you should study hard. You shouldn't waste your time. You ought to sleep early. So here it's an advice for his or her sake. It's better for you. It means it's better for you. Number 5, obligation. What's the meaning of obligation here? Obligation means something you must do because of a rule, a duty, or a promise. Here we can use just must, okay? Because of obligatory. For example, you must come early. If I go to my job or my school, so I must come early. You must come early and he must come early. Okay? After that, he must study hard. So if you have an exam, you must study hard. You don't have any choice. What about must? Must not, which pronounced as mustn't. Number 6, suggestion. What's the meaning of suggestion? Presenting an idea for consideration. You give someone your opinion to think about. Okay? So, in this context, we use shall and can. Shall primarily for first person question, suggestion, and action. But can to suggest an opinion or possibility, which is like what? For example, shall we go out? Suggesting an action. The second one, we can study English first. You can accept or not. Next, we have our 7th context. It is deduction. What is the meaning of deduction? When we reaching a conclusion. Reaching a conclusion based on available evidence or reasoning. Modals here must be, can be, could be. For example, Ali didn't come. He must be sick. So it's strong deduction. If he didn't come, so he must be sick. There is no excuse except that the second example, nobody answered. They could be out. It's a possibility based on evidence. I'm not sure, but it's an evidence. Number 8, request. What is the meaning of request? To ask someone to do something for you. To ask someone to help you or make something for you. Modals here can, could, may. For example, can I have a pen please? Can you help me please? Could you help me please? And then may I have a cup of tea please? And may the most polite way. The last context is offer. When I offer something to anyone, when you offer someone something, modals here are can I, how can I, would you like. For example, can I help you? How can I help you? Would you like to drink some tea? This is a polite way to make an offer. Now we have finished our lesson today. Thank you for listening and hope you can understand modals or auxiliary. Thank you. See you next time.